Hello, since I gave this game a positive review and I've been playing it, I thought it might be time to do some more on it, so I am going to teach you the differences of starting a new game. Because there are some choices in here that they don't tell you all the information on. The first is the difficulty. The difficulty is the basic easy, normal, hard, and extremely difficult settings. This game isn't very hard overall, so I recommend you just go straight to the hard difficulty level. So just go through all this and hit 3, and that's the simple part right there, because that only affects your starting areas. It's random anyways. All know your starting areas. It just affects how much land is good and how much is bad that you get in there in its random generated, numbers and stuff like that. So the first pick you're gonna make is your ideology. This affects just a little bit of your starting technology. It's a little bit different. So these are the 3 skills you have. You get your health and safety. You get your tech focus on health and safety, and that's basically your protection. And this is your tech focus on production. So that'll help you produce stuff a little bit better. And survival. So let's go into these skills one at a time so I can show you the differences, because normally you would have to start a game and then take a look at what the differences are. But for now, I'm going to show you what they are. For the protector ideology, we'll look at the skills that they get right now. And we'll start on the food, and right now we don't see anything, and they get nothing special for food. We'll go to resources, and the resources, they also get nothing for resources. Then we'll go to infrastructure, and nothing for infrastructure. Now we'll go to the community, where we finally get our first thing that they get, which is solid foundations. So an extra 40% durability is not useful. That would be kind of a waste. Kind of not useful. Next is reinforced concrete. So another durability for 40%. There's not much use for durability in this game right now. Things get broken, you fix them. They're not going to break in one shot unless they're tiny little tents. So we'll go to the next one. Guard patrols. Right off the safety one. An extra guard slot. Well, they have 2 guard slots, and the third one is kind of overkill, so it's not necessary, and another skill kind of wasted. Now let's go over here to calibrated lathes. Well, that's production speed for weapons, and I made 1 weapon crafting station, and that was more than enough. And it takes a long time to actually get this, and by then you have tons of settlers out there farming weapons for yourself, and you don't really use very much weapons up. So it's a nice skill to have, but it doesn't really affect very much. And then we go to the next one, healing speed 33%. That is a very good skill to have, but it takes a long time to learn it. But it is worthwhile to have, so that's a good bonus for this here tree to learn. And we'll continue on to the end, and that is it. So to round up the protector tree, you have healing speed and a little bit extra speed on making guns. It's not very useful overall, and so I don't recommend taking this tree for your pick. I'd choose something else. Okay, for production ideology, let's look under food, and they get fish fodder plus 3 fish for your fish farms. In your aqua farms, to be precise, and this is very handy because you don't produce very much fish, and a plus 3 is a big bonus. And that is it for food. Under resources, they have sledgehammer, 40% speed for your concrete, so that's handy. It's good to have. And under junk recycling, plus 2 parts. Well, your parts production is pretty low, so plus 2 is is a nice boost, probably 50% boost, maybe 30% if you're looking for that. And that is very handy because building more parts buildings and taking up more people and resources to build it, that saves you some time. On over to conveyor belts. This 25% speed boost is only for the auto extractors. Now, later in the game, when you get these things, I had no problem with people. I had too much people. So building an auto extractor to save 2 people from working on a job wasn't not worth the upgrade. So maybe they should change that in the future, because it's not worth building an auto upgrade. I didn't even need to do this. I did this for the rare metal, and I didn't need to do that because you can get enough rare metals off the map to supply what you need. So it's iffy if you even need to make 1 auto producer on the metal factory. Let's go to resources. Oh, okay. Resources. Durability on your solar panels. Well, if you're going to have durability on something, it's going to be on solar panels. So that is useful. And that is it. On to community. Nothing special. And under safety. Quickly scroll through here, and as you can see, nothing for safety. So its main goal is you collect your resources a lot faster, obviously, and it's pretty good. It's a solid pick. And for survival ideology, let's take a look at food, and you get survival skills for your hunting crews, and you get plus 25% speed for your fish and your food. So that is very handy to have at the start. Let's carry on, and then you go and you get emergency harvest. This is awesome. This is like, something you really want, because you'll get hit by meteors, or you'll get hit by frost or something like that, and then you'll have the actual time to actually harvest all your crops and won't lose them all. So that is very good to have. And we'll carry on, and that is it under food. And survival gets for resources, they get an extra lumberjack. And you need wood for the whole game, and that is very handy. Another great skill to have. Scroll through here, and nothing else under resources. Infrastructure, whoa, it's so fast. Try and go slow. Okay. They get efficient heating. This is for their radiators, and you're going to want to build those instead of using up all your wood that you harvest and all those guys making the extra firewood for yourself, and taking an extra 3 off your heaters. I can show you the heaters right here. And yeah, they use 3 energy right now. And they normally use 6, because right now this is taking effect because I have it learned. I've learned them all. On to community. And they get a tent upgrade. Increases their happiness for their upscaled tents. So you can make your tents a little bit better at the start and make your people a little bit happier. And they need it at the start. When you don't have anything to entertain them, at least they can have fun in their tent. And over to safety, we have nothing for the ideology. But overall, this is the best one to have. This is emergency harvest is like, the top rank skill, and all these production boosts at the start of the game is really great, making the survival my top pick for ideologies. Now that you chose your ideology, the next choice is specialists. There are 4 kinds of specialists in this game, so let's look at them. The first one is a fighter. They have extra health and extra damage. That's about it. The next kind is a scientist. They get the extra research bonus right here. If I can click on it properly. There we go. They get the extra research. This is very helpful and very recommended to have at least one of these. The next choice is a scavenger. And of course, they just have extra scavenging abilities. And of course, then we come to the scout. The 4th and last different type of guy we have. Now, the scout is an average on everything, basically, and random for their stats, or not random, but you know what I mean. Different scouts. But the special ability on the scouts, which is not listed here, is that they can scout out a new territory in just 12 hours. And that saves you a ton of time, because all these other guys take like 2 days or something like that before they actually scout out the next zone. So at the start of the game, you want to scout out everything as fast as possible. You want to get a scout. So these are the choices I would recommend to take as a scientist, and you want some damage to go with it. So I ended up picking her because she has the good damage, she has 100% scavenging, and she has, of course, her research bonus. Out of the other scientists, she has the better average stats because you want the higher damage, basically, and you want that. Now, the next I'd pick is a scout, of course. But, this scout is pretty good, and there's nothing wrong with taking her. I would just take this guy over here. He has a little bit higher hit point regeneration, and research doesn't really matter since you have a researcher, and the damage is the same, and the scavenging is the same in case you need to use them for those. So those are the 2 picks I recommend for your specialists. So let's carry on, which is just naming your city. You just pick your flag and pick your city, and then you're ready to start your game. Now that the game is started, the first thing you're going to have to do is place your campsite. That's the only thing you can do, is place your campsite. So your map is going to be randomly generated like mine is, and I recommend placing your campsite as close to the unscouted area as much as possible, and not in a fertile area. So this wasteland area right here is fine by me. So once you place it there, the space bar is, of course, your pause button, and you might want to save your game, obviously, at the start of the game, and then you just have your guy build it. And once it's built, you can pause the game again, and you have 3 optional buildings you can build. Of course, you're going to want to build them, and I have no water everywhere else in this map, so I'm just going to stick my 3 buildings down. And you have, tents. I'm going to, how about I stick my tent right there, and stick a tent here, and stick the free food storage up here, beside here, doesn't matter. Place these things wherever you want. So once they're placed, you can resume the game, and they'll be instantly built for you, and that's the only time that's going to happen. So once they're built, you want to organize your stuff here, and you can move your work areas like this. You got a flag, you can move them around, and you can hold Control and your scroll button, and you can scroll into a bigger area. So now I can scroll this much area, and my workers will start harvesting all of this area before I have to bother with them again. And you do that with the other building too. With any building that has a flag that they harvest resources of, this is how you do it. So once that's done, you can call in your colonists. Get them to come in. Let them come in. So you can get your specialists. Hey, I thought it said yes. There we go. Wrong button. Yeah. So once they come in here, there they go. You can pause the game again, and now you can start, doing what you want to do. I can take your specialist, go around and put your filter on for living beings, and find out where the wildlife is, and have your specialist go kill them and collect their meat, or collect wood for yourself if you want to have them do it. They're much better than your regular colonists at collecting stuff like that. And of course, you can't order your colonists to go kill stuff. So up to you what you want to do. But now you have the game paused. You can do whatever you want. I recommend you go through here and you place all the buildings you want. Do your roads for your scouted area at least. This is only how much you have scouted on your map. And then you'll have tons of area to go through and scout with your scout towers, or however you want to scout them out with. But anyways, you can go and plan your routes out, plan where your buildings are going to be. And I would recommend at this time is to set up your medical tent somewhere. Don't leave it paused. Wrong button. I would put my medical tent over here, kind of out of the way, so I have room to build all my houses here, and they don't have far to go. You're going to want one medical tent, and you're going to want an outhouse at the start of the game. So you're going to want these things being built right away, and you're going to want to get your production up, which is your recycler, to get some plastics to start building stuff. So your main goal at the start here is to build this here gate here, and the gate is under right here. So you're going to want to get your gate built up right away, and as soon as your gate is built, then your colonists have access to the world map and can start getting the research points that you need to start doing your tech. Because right now you can't learn any tech. You have 0 tech and no way to learn it. So you have no science points, and you have to get your researcher out there and collecting science points, and your scout out there to scout out the area. But for now, they can go around and kill everything that's going to hurt your colonists and collect some wood for you or some berries, clean out these things that are right in your way. Like, yeah, this here berry bush right here. I don't want my colonists getting sick and doing that. So you can have them do that. Anything you want to choose. But the most important thing to remember is you got to have scout towers nearby your base here. Because you're going to get attacked by random insects or rats or whatever, and they're going to kill your colonists, and you got to have these things built and have them manned up with your one guy that can shoot them for you and kill them if your specialists are away. And even then, they'll still help out because I've had 3 rats come in there and almost kill one of my specialists, and that can be annoying if you have your specialist die on you. That's kind of going to hurt you. The other thing to note is for water, the wells don't require people. So as you can see, this is the land area mode, and my area pretty much is garbage for farmland, except for maybe over here, but that's pollution right there, so that doesn't help me out any. That's why you play on hard, right? But over here, I can find a spot that has 12 plus water on it, and you can lay down your well, and you can keep doing this because your game is paused, and you can find other places that are good or good enough, but you don't have to build everything right now and have them all your workers doing a multitasking thing. You just want to build your important buildings that you're going to need, because you're going to need that medical hut, because your guys are going to get hurt, and if they don't get medical treatment, they're going to die. And then they're going to really hate you after that. And you need an outhouse because they're going to get full of crap and they need to be cleaned off. And if they don't have that, they're going to get sick more. And it's a vicious cycle if you don't have those basic buildings up and ready to go. And if you don't have your guard tower, and if you can't collect any plastic, you're out of luck. Everything else you can just build to your heart's content after. Those are done. But I would go through and find out where did I put that well. There it is. Go through here and hit the pause button. So this is what I would do for all of your buildings, is go there and plan it out, like especially your wells, like because it's only limited space where you can place your wells. Place your wells down and then pause everything. Place your town out the same way. You want more tents, obviously, because you have 10 people and you only have 2 tents. You don't have enough. You're going to want to build them. Like I recommend an emergency shelter nearby, and build that one first, and then pause the rest until that is built, because that'll get built faster and house more people, and they won't get sick and hurt as much and hate you as much. But you can just build everything you want, plan out your whole starting area with roads so they move faster, make it more efficient, and everything like that, and pause all of your buildings until you're ready to use them, because you're going to want more than one medical tent, that's for sure, and everything else you're going to want to have built too. But you want them done at your own time schedule, at your own convenience. But you want everything planned out so you're not always confused on what you're doing later on if you have to save and come back later. So that is it for getting started. So I hope you got all the basic information you need to know for getting started, and thanks for watching.